Every AI workflow automation tool on the market breaks at a different point. Zapier breaks on cost, Make breaks on complexity, N8N breaks on governance. But here's what vendors don't tell you. Almost nobody figures out which cliff is theirs until they've already bought the wrong tool. MIT's 2025 State of AI report puts the production success rate for AI workflow projects at just 5%. That number hasn't moved meaningfully in 3 years. And Atlassian backs it up. 46% of teams name integration as the single biggest barrier to scaling AI automation. The cliff is the specific operational threshold past which the tool's pricing model becomes punitive, its governance gets thin, or its visual builder starts fighting your actual logic. Vendors obscure this on purpose. Feature comparison pages sell you integration counts that don't matter. What matters is matching the tool's design assumptions to your real operational constraints. Zapier charges per task, where every step inside a workflow counts. A 10-step workflow run 10,000 times produces 100,000 tasks. At standard pricing, that's around $208 per month, and the cost shape is purely linear with no native batching that would slow growth. Zapier's integration catalog is the largest in the industry, over 8,000 pre-built connectors, and the maintenance is genuinely active. Ramp-up speed is unmatched. When you cross 25,000 monthly tasks, the math gets uncomfortable fast. Make becomes cheaper than Zapier around 750 monthly operations and stays cheaper through mid-volumes. The breakpoint isn't price, it's workflow complexity. Once your scenarios need real conditional branching or shared sub-workflows that other scenarios reuse, Make's visual canvas becomes the bottleneck. You spend more time fighting the layout than shipping logic. When you have more than 50 active scenarios or your workflows require real algorithmic logic, you're building software in a visual UI, which is harder than just writing the software. At that point, you've outgrown Make's design. Airtable's automations are excellent for in-base workflows. Their AI cobbled or shipped in late 2025 is genuinely useful for summarizing records, classifying entries, generating outputs from structured data. But the cliff appears when you start crossing bases or coordinating with external SaaS. Triggers fire silently, error handling is bare bones, and the dependency graph becomes harder to debug than the workflows are useful. N8N self-hosted is the cheapest option at scale, often by a 20 times factor. The same 10-step workflow run 10,000 times costs around $208 on Zapier, around $20 on Make, and somewhere between $5 to $80 on a self-hosted VPS for N8N. That cost differential makes N8N the obvious answer for high-volume use cases if you have engineering ops capacity. With self-hosted N8N, you own everything the SaaS platforms own for you. Uptime monitoring, backups, security patching, audit trail maintenance. That's a full engineering operations function. For teams with that capacity, the cost savings are real. For teams without it, the hidden cost of self-hosting exceeds any savings by year 2. The questions that actually predict whether a tool will survive your next 18 months are specific. What's the cost shape at 10 times your current volume? What happens when a connected SaaS changes its API? Who owns rollback when an AI agent misfires at 2 a.m.? Can a compliance officer trace exactly why an automation made a specific decision 6 months ago? Each tool has a different answer to each question. Zapier, Make, Airtable, N8N, Relevance AI, Lindy, Beam, they all have their moment. KORIX starts where they end. We're here to run your 21-day pilot, diagnose which cliff is actually yours, and build the system that survives your real volume and your real compliance requirements. Run a 21-day pilot with us. Get a free fit check at KORIXinc.com and find out which tool actually matches your operations, or whether it's time to stop renting and start building.